Welcome to Living Well After 50. Today, we're going to be uncovering all you need to know about the Mediterranean diet, what it is, why it works, and how it can help you live a healthier and stronger life. We've got some fascinating research to share with you, so get ready to dive in.
It's interesting because when many people hear Mediterranean diet, they think about complicated recipes and expensive
Oh
ingredients.
yeah, for sure.
But the reality is it's much simpler and more accessible than that.
So it's not just for gourmet chefs or people with unlimited grocery budgets.
Not at all. The beauty of the Mediterranean diet is that it's rooted in traditional eating habits of people living around the Mediterranean Sea. They weren't exactly jetting off to specialty stores. It's all about fresh, whole foods that are readily available and, let's be honest, incredibly delicious.
hmm
Think vibrant vegetables, juicy fruits, hearty whole grains, healthy fats, and flavorful herbs and spices.
Okay, so what you're saying is we don't need to reinvent the wheel here. This is about getting back to basics and enjoying simple, wholesome foods.
Exactly. In fact, a study published in the New England Journal of Medicine found that people who followed a Mediterranean diet had a 30% lower risk of heart attack, stroke, and death from heart disease. That's a pretty powerful incentive to ditch the processed foods and embrace a more natural way of eating, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely. And I think a lot of us over 50 are particularly concerned about heart health, so that's really encouraging to hear. Now, you mentioned whole grains being a key part of this way of eating.
Yeah.
For those of us who might just be thinking brown rice, what are some other interesting grains we should be looking for?
Well, you've got farro, which is a great source of fiber and protein and has this lovely nutty flavor that makes it perfect for salads or as a side dish. Then there's buckwheat, which, despite its name, isn't actually wheat at all. It's gluten-free and packed with antioxidants. You can use it to make pancakes, porridge, or even a hearty salad.
See, that's what I'm talking about. Farro and buckwheat. Those are ingredients I can get excited about. It's not just about eating healthy, it's about enjoying what you eat, right?
Absolutely. And that's another key element of the Mediterranean diet. It's not about deprivation or strict rules. It's about finding pleasure in food and sharing meals with loved ones. In fact, research has shown that people who regularly share meals with others tend to have better overall health and well-being.
That makes perfect sense. Food brings people together. There's something special about gathering around a table and enjoying a delicious meal with friends and family. It's good for the soul. But let's be honest, many of us are busy. Maybe the kids have moved out, we're still working, we're taking care of grandkids. How do we make time for this in our hectic lives?
It doesn't have to be a grand, elaborate affair. Even simple meals can be a celebration. Imagine this. You invite a friend over for lunch. You whip up a quick salad with some fresh greens, tomatoes, cucumbers, and a simple vinaigrette. You toast some whole grain bread, maybe add a little olive oil and herbs. You sit down together, chat, savor each bite, and enjoy each other's company. That's the essence of the Mediterranean lifestyle.
That sounds lovely. And it's something anyone can do no matter how busy their schedule is. Now, you mentioned olive oil, and I know that's a staple in Mediterranean cooking. But what about other healthy fats?
Olive oil is definitely the star of the show, rich in monounsaturated fats that are good for your heart, but the Mediterranean diet also embraces avocados, nuts, and seeds, all of which provide healthy fats, fiber, and essential nutrients. Think about adding sliced avocado to your salads, snacking on a handful of almonds, or sprinkling some chia seeds on your yogurt. These are all simple ways to incorporate more healthy fats into your diet.
I love that these are all things I already have in my pantry. This is starting to feel very doable. But I know what's coming next, the dreaded question. What do we need to cut back on?
I prefer to think of it as shifting our focus rather than cutting things out completely. We're simply minimizing certain foods that aren't as beneficial for our health, especially as we age. For example, red meat, while a good source of protein, is best avoided in moderation, and processed foods, loaded with added sugars, unhealthy fats, and artificial ingredients, are best avoided altogether.
So basically, we're trading the drive-through for the farmer's market, swapping sugary sodas for sparkling water with a squeeze of lemon.
You got it. And remember, moderation is key. A glass of red wine with dinner, a classic part of Mediterranean culture, is perfectly fine. It's all about balance and making choices that nourish your body and bring you joy.
You know, I'm actually starting to get excited about this. It feels less like a diet, more like a lifestyle change, a way to embrace a healthier and more fulfilling way of living. But what about those of us who have a sweet tooth? Do we have to give up dessert completely?
Absolutely not. The Mediterranean diet is all about enjoying life's pleasures, and that includes dessert. But instead of reaching for processed sweets loaded with sugar, why not try some naturally sweet and delicious alternatives?
All right, I'm intrigued. What are some of your favorite Mediterranean-inspired desserts?
Imagine this: fresh figs drizzled with honey and sprinkled with chopped walnuts. Or a bowl of Greek yogurt topped with berries and a sprinkle of cinnamon. Or a simple fruit salad with a drizzle of olive oil and a squeeze of lemon. These are just a few ideas, and trust me, they're just as satisfying as any processed dessert, if not more so.
These actually sound amazing, and I bet they're packed with nutrients too. Okay, so we've talked about what to eat and what to limit, but you mentioned that the Mediterranean lifestyle is about more than just food, right?
Exactly. It's about embracing a holistic approach to well-being that encompasses physical activity, mindful eating, social connections, and a deep appreciation for the simple pleasures in life.
Let's unpack that a bit. We already talked about the social aspect of sharing meals. What about physical activity? What kind of activities do you recommend, especially for those of us over 50?
It's not about joining a fancy gym or pushing yourself to the limit. It's about finding activities you enjoy and incorporating them into your daily routine. A brisk walk in the park, gardening, dancing, swimming, even just taking the stairs instead of the elevator. These are all simple but effective ways to get your body moving and improve your overall health. And the best part is, you can often combine physical activity with social interaction.
Okay, so we can invite a friend for a walk instead of meeting for coffee and cake. I like that.
Yeah.
What about mindful eating? What does that look like in practice?
Mindful eating is all about being present in the moment and savoring each bite. It's about putting away distractions like phones and TV and really paying attention to the taste, texture, and aroma of your food. It's about chewing slowly and appreciating the experience of nourishing your body. Research has shown that people who practice mindful eating tend to consume fewer calories, have better digestion, and feel more satisfied with their meals.
That makes sense. When you slow down and actually pay attention to what you're eating, you're more likely to feel satisfied and less likely to overeat. It's like turning a simple meal into a mindful meditation.
Exactly. And it can really enhance your enjoyment of food.
All right, so we've covered the basics of the Mediterranean lifestyle, but what's in it for us? What are the specific benefits that we can expect to see, especially for those of us over 50?
Well, the Mediterranean diet has been linked to a wide range of health benefits, but for the 50-plus crowd, it can be particularly impactful. Let's start with heart health, which, as we know, becomes even more important as we age. Studies have shown that following a Mediterranean-style diet can lower blood pressure, improve cholesterol levels, and reduce the risk of heart disease.
That's huge.
Yeah.
And I know many of our listeners are also concerned about weight management as they get older. Can the Mediterranean diet help with that too?
Absolutely. The emphasis on whole, unprocessed foods, along with the healthy fats that help you feel full and satisfied, can make it easier to maintain a healthy weight. And it's not just about the number on the scale, it's about feeling energized and comfortable in your own body.
Okay, so we've got heart health and weight management. What else? What other benefits can we look forward to?
Well, there's growing evidence that the Mediterranean diet can help protect our brains as we age.
Okay, now that's really interesting. Tell me more about that.
Studies have shown that people who follow a Mediterranean diet have a lower risk of cognitive decline, Alzheimer's disease, and other forms of dementia. It seems that the antioxidants, healthy fats, and other nutrients in this way of eating help protect brain cells from damage and support cognitive function.
Wow, so it's not just about living longer, it's about living better with a sharper mind and a healthier brain. That's something we can all get behind.
Exactly. And here's another benefit that might surprise you. The Mediterranean diet has been linked to improved mood and a lower risk of depression.
Really? That's fascinating. I wouldn't have expected that.
It seems that the emphasis on whole foods, healthy fats, and social connections can have a positive impact on our mental well-being.
This is all sounding incredible. I'm starting to think this is less of a diet and more of a blueprint for a happier, healthier, and more fulfilling life, especially as we navigate the second half of life.
I couldn't agree more. It's about embracing a lifestyle that nourishes your body, mind, and spirit.
So how do we get started? This all sounds great in theory, but what are some practical steps we can take to incorporate the Mediterranean diet into our lives?
One of the best things about the Mediterranean diet is that it's not about making drastic changes overnight. It's about taking small, manageable steps that you can easily incorporate into your daily routine. For example, instead of overhauling your entire diet at once, why not start by adding 1 or 2 Mediterranean-style meals to your week?
Okay, that sounds doable. So maybe instead of having my usual cereal for breakfast, I could try some Greek yogurt with berries and a drizzle of honey a couple of times a week.
Hmm.
Or swap out a sandwich for a big, colorful salad at lunchtime.
Exactly. It's about making gradual shifts towards healthier choices. And don't be afraid to experiment with new recipes. The Mediterranean cuisine is full of delicious and easy-to-make dishes.
So what are some of your favorite, easy-to-make, Mediterranean-inspired dishes that our listeners could try? Give us some inspiration.
For breakfast, how about a simple omelet with spinach, feta cheese, and a drizzle of olive oil? Or some whole grain toast with avocado and a sprinkle of sea salt. For lunch, a lentil soup is always a hearty and satisfying option. Or you could try a quinoa salad with chickpeas, chopped vegetables, and a lemon vinaigrette. And for dinner, roasted chicken with lemon and herbs is a classic Mediterranean dish that's easy to make and always a crowd pleaser. You can serve it with roasted vegetables like zucchini, bell peppers, and onions.
These all sound delicious.
Ah,
And they're not complicated dishes with a million ingredients.
exactly. The beauty of Mediterranean cooking is that it's all about simple, fresh ingredients that speak for themselves.
Okay, so we've got some meal ideas. What about snacks? What are some healthy snacks that align with the Mediterranean diet? Because let's be honest, snacking is a big part of life, especially when you're on the go.
Absolutely. Healthy snacking is key, and the Mediterranean diet has plenty of delicious options. Think about a handful of almonds or walnuts, a piece of fruit with some nut butter, or even some raw vegetables like carrots and celery sticks with hummus.
I love that these are all snacks I can easily keep on hand, and they're much healthier than reaching for a bag of chips or a candy bar.
Exactly. And they'll keep you feeling energized and satisfied between meals. Another great tip is to embrace seasonal produce. Visit your local farmer's market and see what's fresh and in season. Not only will you get the most flavorful fruits and vegetables, but you'll also be supporting local farmers.
I love that idea. Farmers markets are such vibrant and inspiring places, and the produce always looks so much more appealing than what you find in the grocery store.
Exactly. And often you can find unique and flavorful varieties of fruits and vegetables that you wouldn't see anywhere else. It's a chance to expand your culinary horizons and get creative in the kitchen.
You know, this all feels very empowering. Like we have the power to make positive changes for our health and well-being.
That's the beauty of the Mediterranean diet. It's not a restrictive or complicated regime. It's a lifestyle that celebrates good food, good company, and a deep appreciation for the simple pleasures in life.
I think our listeners are going to be inspired to give this a try. It's not just about living longer, it's about living better.
Exactly. It's about embracing a way of life that nourishes your body, mind, and spirit. And the best part is, it's never too late to start.
So true. Whether you're 50, 60, 70, or beyond, the Mediterranean diet can help you feel your best and embrace the joys of aging gracefully.
You know, something that fascinates me is that the Mediterranean diet has been around for centuries. It's not a fad diet, it's a way of life that's been proven to support health and longevity, and it's constantly being validated by new research.
It's amazing how something so simple and enjoyable can have such a profound impact on our well-being.
It really is. And it reminds us that healthy living doesn't have to be complicated or restrictive. It's about making choices that nourish our bodies and bring us joy.
I think that's a perfect note to end on. The Mediterranean diet isn't just a set of rules, it's a celebration of life. It's about savoring delicious food, connecting with loved ones, and embracing all the good things that life has to offer.
Well said. It's about living well after 50 and beyond.
Thank you for joining us on this deep dive into the Mediterranean diet. We hope you've gained some valuable insights and inspiration to start incorporating this wonderful lifestyle into your own life. Remember, small changes can make a big difference, and it's never too late to prioritize your health and well-being.
And to help you on your journey, we've put together a special resource just for our listeners.
That's right. Be sure to check out our free Living Well After 50 newsletter, where we share even more tips, recipes, and support to help you thrive in this exciting chapter of life. You'll find the link in the episode description. Until next time, stay well.
It really is a treasure trove of information specifically tailored for those of us embracing life after 50. You know, one thing that often comes up when we talk about making dietary changes is the concern about cost.
That's a valid concern. A lot of people think that eating healthy has to be expensive, especially when you start talking about things like organic produce and specialty ingredients.
And while those things can certainly add up, the good news is that the Mediterranean diet doesn't have to break the bank. Remember, this way of eating is rooted in the traditions of cultures that historically didn't have a lot of money to spare. They relied on simple, seasonal ingredients that were readily available and affordable.
So how can we make the Mediterranean diet budget-friendly? What are some tips for keeping costs down without sacrificing flavor or nutrition?
Well, one of the best things you can do is plan your meals ahead of time. This will help you avoid impulse purchases and ensure that you're using all of the ingredients you buy. Another great tip is to cook in bulk. Doubling or even tripling recipes for things like soups, stews, or grain bowls can save you time and money. You can freeze leftovers for quick and easy meals later in the week.
That's a great idea. I love having homemade meals ready to go in the freezer. It's so much healthier and more affordable than relying on takeout or frozen dinners. What are some other ways we can stretch our grocery budget?
Another key strategy is to focus on seasonal produce. Fruits and vegetables that are in season are not only more flavorful, but also more affordable. So instead of buying imported berries in the winter, opt for seasonal fruits like apples, pears, or citrus fruits. And in the summer, load up on fresh tomatoes, zucchini, and eggplant.
That's a great reminder to pay attention to what's in season. And speaking of produce, are there any specific fruits and vegetables that are particularly beneficial for those of us over 50?
All fruits and vegetables are packed with nutrients, but there are a few standouts that are particularly beneficial for the 50-plus crowd. Let's start with berries. Berries are loaded with antioxidants, which can help protect against cell damage and reduce the risk of chronic diseases.
I love berries. Blueberries, strawberries, raspberries, they're all so delicious and versatile.
They are, and they're also low in calories and high in fiber, which can help regulate blood sugar levels and promote digestive health. Another great option is leafy green vegetables like spinach, kale, and collard greens. These are all excellent sources of vitamins, minerals, and fiber.
Leafy greens are definitely a staple in my diet. I love adding spinach to my smoothies and kale to my salads.
And don't forget about cruciferous vegetables like broccoli, cauliflower, and Brussels sprouts. These veggies are packed with compounds that have been linked to cancer prevention.
Okay, so we've got berries, leafy greens, and cruciferous vegetables. What about fruits? Are there any specific fruits that you recommend for the 50-plus crowd?
Well, as I mentioned earlier, citrus fruits are a great choice, especially during the winter months when they're in season. Oranges, grapefruits, lemons, and limes are all excellent sources of vitamin C, which is an important antioxidant that can boost immunity.
I love starting my day with a glass of fresh grapefruit juice. It's so refreshing and invigorating.
And don't forget about apples. Apples are a great source of fiber and antioxidants, and they're available year-round.
Apples are definitely a classic for a reason. Okay, so we've covered fruits and vegetables. What about protein? What are some good sources of protein that align with the Mediterranean diet?
One of the things that sets the Mediterranean diet apart from other diets is that it emphasizes plant-based protein sources. Beans, lentils, chickpeas, and tofu are all excellent sources of protein and fiber, and they're also very affordable.
I love adding chickpeas to my salads, and lentil soup is a staple in my house during the colder months.
And don't forget about fish. Fish is a great source of protein and omega-3 fatty acids, which are essential for heart health and brain function.
So how often should we be eating fish?
Aim for at least 2 servings of fish per week. Fatty fish like salmon, tuna, mackerel, and sardines are particularly rich in omega-3s.
Okay, so we've got plant-based protein sources like beans, lentils, and tofu, and we've got fish. What about meat? Is there any room for meat in the Mediterranean diet?
The Mediterranean diet emphasizes moderation when it comes to meat. If you do choose to eat meat, opt for lean cuts like chicken or turkey breast and limit your intake to a few times a week. And remember, portion size matters. A serving of meat should be about the size of your palm.
Okay, so it's not about eliminating meat entirely. It's about choosing leaner cuts and enjoying them in moderation. Now, I know we talked about healthy fats earlier, but can you remind us why they're so important, especially as we age?
Healthy fats are essential for overall health and well-being, but they're especially important as we get older. They help protect our cells, support brain function, keep our skin healthy, and even help us absorb certain vitamins.
So olive oil, avocados, nuts, seeds, those are all good sources of healthy fats that we should be incorporating into our diet.
Exactly. And remember, a little goes a long way. You don't need to drench your food in olive oil to reap the benefits. A drizzle or a light coating is all you need.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground today. We've talked about the basics of the Mediterranean diet, how to make it budget-friendly, and some specific foods that are particularly beneficial for those of us over 50. But before we wrap up, I want to touch on one more important aspect of the Mediterranean lifestyle, the social aspect.
One of the things that makes the Mediterranean diet so sustainable and enjoyable is that it's not just about the food. It's about the culture of sharing meals, connecting with loved ones, and savoring the simple pleasures in life.
I love that. It's about more than just what's on your plate. It's about the whole experience of eating and the connections you make with others over a shared meal.
Exactly. And research has shown that people who regularly share meals with others tend to have better overall health and well-being. They tend to eat healthier foods, have lower stress levels, and report higher levels of happiness and life satisfaction.
So invite friends over for dinner, cook together, share stories, laugh, and enjoy each other's company.
Exactly. Make mealtime a celebration of life and connection.
I think that's a beautiful note to end on. The Mediterranean diet is more than just a way of eating. It's a way of life that nourishes our bodies, minds, and spirits. And the best part is, it's something we can all embrace regardless of age or budget.
Absolutely. And remember, it's never too late to start. Small changes can make a big difference, and the benefits you'll reap will be well worth the effort.
We hope you've enjoyed this deep dive into the Mediterranean diet.
And we hope you'll join us next time when we explore another fascinating topic related to living well after 50.
As we wrap up this deep dive into the Mediterranean diet, I can't help but think about how approachable and enjoyable this way of eating really is.
Yeah, it's not about deprivation or following strict rules.
Exactly. It's about celebrating good food, connecting with loved ones, and embracing a lifestyle that supports our health and happiness. And the best part is it's never too late to start.
Even making small changes to your eating habits can have a significant impact on your health and well-being.
So, what are a few simple things our listeners can do today to start incorporating the Mediterranean diet into their lives?
Well, start by adding more fruits, vegetables, and whole grains to your meals. Swap out processed snacks for nuts, seeds, or a piece of fruit. Experiment with new herbs and spices to add flavor to your dishes without relying on salt or unhealthy fats.
Those are all great tips. And I think it's important to remember that this is a journey, not a destination. You don't have to be perfect to reap the benefits of the Mediterranean diet.
Absolutely. It's about progress, not perfection. And it's about finding what works for you and making sustainable changes that you can stick with for the long haul.
And remember, you don't have to do this alone. There are so many resources available to support you on your journey. From cookbooks to websites to online communities, there's a wealth of information out there to help you embrace the Mediterranean lifestyle.
And speaking of resources, don't forget to sign up for our free Living Well After 50 newsletter. We share even more tips, recipes, and inspiration to help you thrive in this exciting chapter of life. You'll find a link in the episode description.
It's a fantastic resource for anyone who wants to dive deeper into the Mediterranean diet and connect with a community of like-minded individuals.
What I find truly inspiring about the Mediterranean diet is that it's not just a diet, it's a way of life. It's about slowing down, savoring the simple pleasures, and appreciating the connections we have with food, family, and friends.
It's about nourishing our bodies, minds, and spirits. And it's about embracing the joys of aging gracefully.
Well said. It's about living well after 50 and beyond.
Thank you for joining us on this deep dive into the Mediterranean diet. We hope you've gained some valuable insights and inspiration to start incorporating this wonderful lifestyle into your own life. Remember, small changes can make a big difference, and it's never too late to prioritize your health and well-being. Until next time, stay well.